The Yakovlev Yak-3, a lightweight Soviet fighter aircraft that appeared in the later years of World War II, quickly developed a reputation that spread far beyond the Eastern Front, catching the interest of American pilots who observed its performance with a mix of surprise and respect. To understand why, we must step back into 1944, a time when the skies of Europe were dominated by well-known fighters like the American P-51 Mustang, the British Spitfire, the German Bf-109, and the fearsome Focke-Wulf 190. The Yak-3 entered this arena as a relatively small and unassuming machine, yet it proved itself to be one of the most agile and effective dogfighters of the war. American pilots, who were familiar with both their own aircraft and those of their allies, were intrigued by reports from the Eastern Front describing the Yak-3's extraordinary handling, light construction, and ability to outmaneuver heavier German fighters at low and medium altitudes. Unlike some of the larger and more complex aircraft of the Western Allies, the Yak-3 was designed with simplicity and performance in mind. Its wooden structure kept it extremely light, and when coupled with a powerful Klimov engine, it produced blistering acceleration and climb rates that made it a dangerous opponent. American observers noted that the Yak-3 could often turn inside even the most maneuverable German aircraft, giving Soviet pilots the edge in close-range engagements. The plane's small size also made it a difficult target, frustrating Luftwaffe veterans who had once dominated the skies. Perhaps the most telling accounts came from joint training exercises and Allied contact with Soviet airmen, where American pilots were able to witness firsthand the Yak-3's remarkable agility. Some remarked that in the right hands, the Yak-3 could rival even the Spitfire in turning contests and could give the Mustang serious trouble in a dogfight, particularly at lower altitudes where raw speed mattered less than handling. For Soviet pilots, the Yak-3 was more than just a machine. It was a symbol of resilience and a weapon that restored confidence at a time when Germany still posed a formidable aerial threat. American aviators, accustomed to their own advanced fighters, respected the Yak-3 as proof of Soviet ingenuity, and while they acknowledged its lack of range and limited high-altitude performance, they admired its design philosophy: build light, build fast, and build effective. The aircraft's combat record reinforced these impressions. In large-scale operations, Yak-3 units achieved kill ratios that impressed even skeptical Western observers, and American reports highlighted encounters where German pilots chose to avoid combat with Yak-3s altogether, a rare acknowledgement of respect from seasoned Luftwaffe veterans. The admiration of American pilots was not based on myth, but on tangible results in combat, where the Yak-3 consistently delivered. Though it never became as famous in the West as the Mustang or Spitfire, the Yak-3's influence spread through pilot communities who valued first-hand knowledge of enemy and Allied machines. In reflecting on what American pilots thought of the Yak-3, it becomes clear that they recognized it as one of the finest low-altitude fighters of World War II, a plane that, despite being built in massive wartime urgency, achieved a balance of speed, maneuverability, and firepower that rivaled the best. For many Americans who had studied or flown alongside their Soviet counterparts, the Yak-3 stood out as a remarkable example of how necessity and determination could produce a true legend of the skies. Even decades later, veterans continued to speak of the Yak-3 with admiration, acknowledging that this compact Soviet fighter earned its place among the great warplanes of history. And in the end, the respect it won from American pilots served